Master editor.
Master editor.
Cheers.
Cheers. That's good. All right, so we are here with my brother, my friend, Carl Edward Carlin, and with this guy, last year in 2022 in July, we did together the Monterosa tour in the Swiss Alps, Italian Alps, and the French Alps. We climbed also in Chamonix and Agodi de Midi, and just before we started recording, we were actually talking about how did we get into doing it together. I don't really remember if it was.
I think you just said like, we were talking about your like climbing trip in Chamonix, but you did more technical walls.
Yeah.
And you said you like wanted to do a like proper like adventure one.
Yeah.
And you said like, oh, it's like kind of like a difficult hike. You should do it. And I was like, oh yeah, I kind of want to get over my fear of heights. So I was like, yeah, I knew it kind of bullshitty. It's kind of like a more difficult hike. I knew that was like a bit bullshit, but I think that's how we got into it.
Probably. I know that I said that, like, hey, I have this like great guide which Johannes and Richard suggested. I'm like, yeah, Elsie, like she's done like many climbs and first ascents, and she's a crazy lady. So let's just go with her and let's do it.
Yeah, he just basically said she was like so good. You don't even have to care. Like you can just go in, know nothing. And
trust. Exactly. I mean, so that's how we started. So we ended up in Chamonix. It was a very nice road trip there. So I think first day in Chamonix, we buy all the gear, we have all the gear, we rent what's needed, and we go up to Agodi de Midi. First day is the acclimatization day. That's the first day when I think Carl also met Elsie.
Yeah.
So we just go up, first 3,842 meters up in the Agodi de Midi, and we start. And what was your expectation? Because I know that on first day we had super spicy ridgeline.
I mean, it was instant, like 2,000 meter drop when you went out on both sides, and it was like this wide walk. And I was like, we've been talking about it, and I'm like, I wonder when like the hard like fear of heights parts are gonna come. It was just like boom, instant. I was like, I thought it was gonna be a bit of warm up, and like I hadn't even like double checked my strap on for the boots, so it was like kind of sketchy. It was scary.
But I think that's one way how you get over your fear of heights. It's just like you don't have time to think about it. It's just like it's momentary. It's like it's there.
He says you gotta go,
and you go.
Have to go.
Yeah, you go. So first day we went up to Agodi de Midi. We traversed the Valley Blanche, which is just a massive area with like glacier and possibilities of crevices and all that. And on the first day we mountaineered and scrambled to the nearby peak Gros Rognon, the one where we had the spicy rappels. And I think that's a story that deserves telling. Is Carl's first rappel. I mean,
it's
like,
not my
so Carl has not rappelled in his life. Like he doesn't know what rappel basically. I've told him about the rappel because I learned how to do it, how to rappel properly. And then we come to the point where there's like, you can't climb down, you can't traverse, nothing. And that's like, Elsie's like, Carl, just get attached to the rope, you go first.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, what did I do? And she's like, oh, you just, stand with your back to the edge, and then you just like jump back. And I was like, oh no. I was just like, no, I'm not doing that. And she was like, oh, well, no. I stood there and like, for like 20 seconds. And then Elsie just said like, or you could like climb down and hold like this and then push up. And I was like, yes, I will do that.
No, I mean, you did great. And the funny part is that, I mean, it might seem at this point that like I'm the one who's very experienced mountaineer and Carl is the one who was the beginner, but no, we both were the beginners. The only difference was that like I talked him into doing it, So I could not show my fear of height or how scared or
No,
afraid
yeah.
I am. It was like I have to stay just stoic.
Yeah, because
like
you were just saying like, oh yeah, like even if Elsie's not there, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Just to like reassure me. I'm like, okay, yeah, that
Oh.
feels better.
Yeah, and so we repelled successfully. Went down to Cosmic Hut, had I think really nice dinner, and then we did the first night for acclimatization, sleeping in the Cosmic Hut. I think
Yeah,
that
it
was.
wasn't too bad at all, honestly. Yeah, didn't feel that. Oh, the spiciest part on the climb too. Wait, what was the peak called now?
Agudidimidi, you mean, or yeah.
Yeah. The like spiciest part for me was when we were like climbing like this, like crouch,
Yeah.
and you going boot, like sideways like that.
Yeah.
That was like
the traversing.
Yeah, the traversing. Like
Yeah.
that was the first like proper spicy like thing we did.
I mean, I think the all of the days were spicy, but
Yeah.
I mean, definitely the first day exposure, and just on the first day to be put through something like that, that's just amazing. And then second day we wake up in Cosmic Hut, very nice. So first night acclimatization done, and actually on the second day it was clear. Because the whole point of our trip was actually to climb Mont Blanc, the highest peak in the Europe, the roof of the Europe, but because of the weather conditions we were not able to do it. And actually second day of our climbing, where we climbed the Cosmic route, which starts from Cosmic Hut, goes down to the ridge, and then goes back up to the Agudi di Midi. Was the kind of attestation or statement of the weather conditions and how dry the rock on the mountains is, because I remember that we were doing for the Cosmic Ridge line, and the Elsie and we just like hear some like massive like sound shishing
or
whatever.
like rock climbing the second day.
Yeah.
That was
scary. Yeah. So we are rock climbing, we are on the ridge, and then we just hear like rock falls, like massive rock falls, and we just.
No, that morning was actually.
That was the second morning.
Yeah, because remember I went to the normal exit, like
yes.
when you just go down and then you go like up to the.
I
did the or the tram line, or not tram line.
But the cable car.
Cable car, yeah, exactly. But like you guys weren't there, and I was like waiting, and then eventually like you came and got me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know we were gonna do the rock climbing.
Yes.
And I hadn't like mentally prepared for it, and I was like, okay, fuck, yeah, let's go.
Oh yeah,
but
I mean the mountains really showed like what they are. It's like to be able to hear and see such a big rock fall like 50 meters from us. I was like. That was super spicy for me as well. I mean, also given the scrambling and the rock climbing part we did back to Agudi di Midi. So yeah, and I mean, it was a quite nice the boulder move, where you had to put the spikes in. Where I was like, "Hey, Carl, look down, like enjoy the view," and you were like, "No, I just don't want to. No, not happening."
I was just focused on getting down as fast as possible. Like,
you have a job and you just need to do it. That's it.
You just gotta finish the job. Like listen to Elsie, what she says, replicate, move.
Yeah. So with the second day, we acclimatized, everything went well, and then we descended back down to the center of Chamonix. We repacked, we got more food, cleaned ourselves, and then we went basically to bed super early.
Yeah, we left at like 6 in the morning.
Yeah, and then next morning, 6 in the morning, we left to Zermatt to do 4 days in the Swiss and Italian Alps, the Monterosa tour, because Mont Blanc was not available. I think the first really beautiful part was to see Matterhorn so close. I've never seen it. Like when we took the cable car. That was super nice. So we took from Zermatt the cable car up all the way to Klein Matterhorn, and then we summited our first 4,000 peak on the trip, the Brighthorn, which stood at 4,164 meters, and the point was to do all the Brighthorn summits, because you can cross from one Brighthorn on over the ridge to another one, and the third and the fourth one, the Central and the Oriental Brighthorns and all that. Since the weather on the first day on Monterosa tour, which was our third day climbing, it was not great, I think. So we decided instead to descend straight to the hut, and we got into some foggy conditions where we lost one of the crampons and the boots. Oh yeah, but I mean that was a small thing, but we successfully made it to the Refugio guides the IS, and I think the spicy part on the third day, it was not harder or spicier than the first two. I think it was a lot easier. I think maybe physically it was a bit harder.
Yeah, because like
the exhaustion.
it had already taken its toll like the first 2 days, and then like
definitely
still recovering.
But the spicy part was the fourth day in the mountains, or second day of the Monterosa tour, when in the morning we wake up in the hut and kind of the sky cleared, and then we could see the parts that we have crossed, the glaciers and the seracs overhanging and all that, and that was like, because on the day before we didn't see, because it was all in the clouds and the fog, and it's like when it's in the fog, you focus on your next two steps, because that's all you see, that's it. It's like, I mean, I remember
this was the Italian hut, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It probably had like the best view, maybe.
Yeah, it's
except maybe the last hut.
I mean the margarita, yeah. But the Italian hut had an amazing food.
Yeah,
I think
the Italian hut's by far the best food, and the vegetarian food by far the best.
That is where we came to conclusion that next mountaineering, because if you have allergies, you can tell it to the huts, or if you are a specific type of eater.
Yeah.
And they will prepare special food for you.
Yeah,
and
you pre-book the food in advance.
And everyone gets like regular same food, and then since I don't eat meat, and I said that I'm a vegetarian, they would prepare something like always super nice for me.
Yeah,
and so much I would never have to share with it.
Yeah, like
that
everyone would share, like 5 people share like this bowl, and then you had like your own bowl next to it. Like,
I felt special. It was delicious.
It was
I think
good,
even
right?
Elsie said that she
wanted to switch. That was like crazy.
Oh, that was nice. Fourth day in the mountains, second day on Monterosa tour. Early start, we headed out to a really beautiful peak, and I think peak, which probably is most memorable to you because of its ridgeline, the Castor, at 4,223. So we did a proper ice climbing. That was very nice.
That was spicy.
Yeah. And then once we get to the ridgeline, I'll let you tell the story.
I mean, fuck me. I mean, we'd first been zigzagging for like 2 hours, probably.
Something like that, yeah.
I can't say how far it was. Yeah, zigzagging for like 2 hours. Then you get to like maybe 50-meter ice climb, something like that, or less. Maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah, maybe like 35.
35,
yeah.
but like a proper, vertical,
like physically it's very hard, especially after going up, and it's like the 4th day, so like everything compounded into one thing, and then I get up and I'm like, okay, this is finally the peak. Like, I'm kind of starving, so I'm like looking forward to the cricket protein bars that are in my bag. Like, amazing. And then I just like finally get over, like, and like the ridge is this.
There was like 30 centimeters
wide. Yeah.
Like you could not place 2 boots next to
No,
them.
you couldn't.
Yeah.
No, like this is probably it. Yeah. And it's just a straight 3,000
it's like
meter,
it's like a knife.
Yeah, it's like a knife that goes like that. And I was like, fuck. And I'm like, okay. And then I see like the whole ridge line is probably like 200 meters.
Something like that.
And then you can like, it's a small place where you can sit and eat and take a break. But then it's another 100, 200 meters of like this ridge line.
Because we did the Castor, and then like just for you guys to know, The Castor was the main summit with the most exposed ridgeline, and then afterwards it was 2 or 3 other summits that we did, smaller ones, but you basically have to cross the ridge to the next summit and the next. But yeah, that was spicy. I remember motivating you.
Yeah, no, Elsie tried to motivate you or made me feel like, so she's like, oh yeah, if you fall on that side, I'll just jump on that side. I'm like, Elsie, you're like,
that's not
50
helping.
kilos? Like, you're not gonna do anything.
No.
It all depends on which way helmet falls. If anyone falls. Like, that's the way we're going.
Because I'm the heaviest.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm dragging everybody down.
Yeah, fuck. But the way down as well that day was hard. And like the glaciers when we had to choose the paths.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of crevasses.
Like, a lot of. And I remember I was like. there was like a gap between, and there was like a small island, and it was like a meter between on both sides. And I was standing on that, and Elsie was like, she had to do a jump in front, I was in the middle, and you were in the back on like, I remember like some sketchy part. I remember, I was like, oh fuck, he's there, so I can't ask him to like come closer. But I get like pulled forward. Like that, and then you pull me backwards. I'm like, guys, chill the fuck out. I'm like, I'm about to die here.
Yeah, no, but some parts are super sketchy, And that was another Italian hut, I think, that day where we stayed when we descended the crevasses.
I don't remember what the hut looked like.
It was on like a plateau. That was the day when I went.
Was it the one?
That was the one where we slept with other people who were super loud, and we wanted to sleep, and they just, because we had like.
With the Germans.
Yeah, with the Germans. Yeah.
That had the best food though.
Yeah, that was
like lots of snacks.
Yeah.
But that's like where you can hike up. You don't have to be in the mountains.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it was very nice. But that day we went. Never go together with Germans for a climbing trip. I know that my German friends will hate me for saying this, but they were loud.
I mean, the German on the last day was pretty chill.
Yeah, the German, but he was from Berlin, so he was super chill. On the last day, he asked, we were smoking rolled tobacco, and he was like, guys, I think he was like an awkward one. He didn't like ask straight up.
No, I think he said like, "Oh, hey guys, sorry, is that like weed or something?"
No, it's just tobacco. No, too bad.
No, I think he said like, "I don't want to be rude. Like like it would be rude to accuse us of
exactly.
Yeah.
But the day before that, we started at 4 a.m. It was a very nice night climb when we started summiting. That was the day when I think I got the most scared, because I was not scared of all the ridge lines.
Yeah, that was with like this.
It was
this was like the ice wall, and you climb like that kind of.
Yeah, so the weather conditions, it was actually that day was quite cold in the night. It was freezing. I remember
when we started, Elsie said like we shouldn't have our jackets because you don't want to get sweaty and then it freezes. Like, so we had to go out in like maybe like a hoodie, and it was like minus couple something. But that day we summited Naso del Liscam. No.
It was very exposed ice climbing for a couple of 100 meters, and so we started off with scrambling on like the rock, and then it turns into like proper like massive ice wall, like Carl showed, and so Elsie, our guide, she's going first. She's going up, putting the ice screws, the safety in. Then Carl goes. He has to reattach the ropes, and then I'm the last one. And Carl goes and he does everything proper, but I mean it takes our time for both of us to climb on like proper ice climbing, and then I just see like another guide with another team. They're running close to us, just like not running but like super fast climbing. And as he like passes me and puts his like ice axe into the mountain, like you could feel the whole ice just like rattle. It's like. And I look at Carl and I thought like he heard it, but he didn't. And I was petrified at that moment. I'm like, Carl, everything's good, but please go faster, because I just wanted to get off from that part. Like, oh my God, when you when you feel the whole mountain just like shake, it's
Yeah.
that was
No, but like unscrewing those ice screws,
oh yeah.
it's next level because you have to be 100% sure that like because you're only holding on at 3 points. You have to be sure that all of those three are gonna hold.
Yeah.
So you can't rush.
That's
You just can't rush.
But it was a very beautiful day, though. It was perfect.
Yeah,
that day was perfect weather until the evening, which we'll get
It was
to.
probably the lunch I enjoyed the most. It was probably kind of the best view because you could still see the Matterhorn.
Yeah, and the Mont-Blanc, Massif.
And the Mont-Blanc and the Toblerone.
Yes, yeah, that's true. So we summited Nassau de Liskman at 4,272 meters. Then we went down from it. That was, I think, pretty chill. I mean, at that point, crossing the glaciers.
It was a lot of rock on the
it was a lot of scrambling.
Yeah.
But I mean, at that point, glaciers. It felt nothing for us.
I mean, glaciers was like it felt home.
Yeah,
it felt like
it's like you are saying.
Finally, I mean, and that was when Elsie was kind of most sketched.
Yes.
Because I mean, that is realistically where the most dangerous.
Yes.
But I just felt like. Let's just stay on this nice flat.
I agree with that. I agree. But that day we ascended to the highest point in Europe where you can sleep in a hut, which is Hut Margarita at 4,556 meters. And I mean, the views were just epic.
Yeah.
But I have to say that I think we were also super deflated. Depleted.
Yeah. Because
I mean, to get up there, I know that was.
No, I remember when we like crossed over kind of a ridge here, and it kind of goes like that, and you go up. And there's the height. And I remember looking at it, it's like, okay, it's pretty far, but that would take like 2 hours
max.
And then like 5 hours later, we're at the bottom of like
where it starts,
like
going,
300 meters, and then the hut is there. And that was...
Yes. I mean, that was definitely the highest dinner in both of its sense, highest that I've ever had. But the thunderstorm that started in the night. I remember you were just sleeping,
I just
knocked
like
off.
A baby, I didn't care.
And I couldn't sleep. I mean, the whole hut, it was just like moving. I mean, I had, I think, one tobacco left, so I rolled the tobacco, went outside, and I was like, maybe I should wake up Carl and Elsie, and we should just like get out from the hut, because if anybody wants to check I think one of the most impressive huts, it's basically like on a cliffside, as if you would BV on the mountainside, and it's like literally a kilometer drop to the ground, and you are like, fuck. And first time in my life I saw that everything just went like pitch black in a thunderstorm, where it's like just...
It must have looked really cool though.
Yeah, everything's black, you can't see anything, and just the lightning here and there, or thunder, like it was just like super epic. And then the last day that was quite chill. No, it was not chill, because it was sketch as fuck. That's true. We had to descend from Margarita Hut. I think it was also one of, maybe not mentally so hard, but physically the hardest day, because we walked for like 9.5, 10 hours.
Yeah.
Because we had to get back to the Zermatt, and basically we did not have any option of any cable cars or whatsoever.
No, we had talked with another guide that they were like going
to the Italian side.
To the Italian side, and they could drive us to Zermatt to get the car to go back.
But we
that
just
fell through.
Yeah.
And then we woke up at like 4.
Something like that.
Yeah, 4. And I remember Elsie saying like, "Oh, today you can actually take
your time
at breakfast."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Nice." The breakfast there wasn't the best. It was decent.
It was decent. Yeah.
It was like the white bread.
With cheese and butter.
Cheese and butter. You were so sick of that at that point.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, even cricket protein was like, not really.
The cricket protein, never again. Never again.
It's so dry. I mean, like when you eat one of that shit, it's like you have to like drink. I don't
You
know. how
have
many-
to.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
it's,
no way. Yeah. But yeah, I was
So-
eating with the breakfast. And I get done in like 10 minutes probably. 10 minutes after MC said. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll go take shit or like just go
Yeah.
and relax, drink some water and prepare, like take my time to pack,
Yeah.
make sure everything's right. And then when I'm like walking out of the eating area, Elsie goes like, Carl, you're not packed. What are you doing? We're going now. And I'm like, oh, okay, oh shit.
Yeah, it's because of the weather window. So basically, we were lucky with the weather for the whole 5-6 days in the mountains. But the last night and last day, it was super bad. It was windy, snowing, fog, like thunderstorm, like not
warm, so the
and
glaciers were sketch.
Yeah. So I think 3 teams before us started going down the same route we were supposed to take down to Zermatt on the glacier. It was I think from the 9 hours we spent on like glacier, crossing the glacier basically, just going down the glacier.
Yeah.
The cross is finding the path, and I think on last day, like 2 things were really spicy. One was when I almost fell through the snow bridge, and when you saw the exposure, and the other one was when I had to put into my practice and save my guide from falling into crevasse, which she actually fell through.
She fell through
the snow bridge.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of froze there. I was like, I was like, wait, Elsie fell through. What did we do? Like, what?
Yeah. But I mean, I reacted quick. I just stopped. I started pulling the rope, and Elsie is like, no, don't pull. Like, you're just shouting like, I'm okay. Just and then we stopped, and then we regrouped and did just step by step, and it was fine at the end. But that was just like. That showed how quick everything can change, because you walk normally roped up, and then it's like the person's gone.
Like I was kind of calm during that, because before everyone else was kind of calm, so I could like panic.
Yeah.
But there you could tell like Elsie was like actually worried.
Yeah.
So like I kind of felt like no, she can't have to worry about me.
Yeah.
So I have to go with the flow.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Yeah, so we descended down, and I mean, it was epic. I mean, it was beautiful, and I think one of the great experiences, since we now do a lot of cold swims, was that we did a cold swim, or that was actually our shower, because we didn't have shower for like four or 5 days.
Our first bath, in a week.
Yeah, so we just went down, and there was a small lake forming, or like a huge pond from the glacier water. So it was just like ice cold, like as cold as it can probably get. Oh, that was amazing when just jumping.
That was nice. No, I remember I was about to skip it, but then I saw you guys going in. I was like, fuck, I can't skip this. It was worth it.
Last day we also did Via Ferrata, which was very nice when we had to go, because we went down the glacier and then we had to scramble up.
I was staying in the hut and took like or like hut. It was more like
it was
weird, honestly.
It was just middle of nowhere.
Yeah, middle of nowhere, like cafe. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But that like last hike, it was like it's over, and then like you're going the last few kilometers, and you're just getting to like enjoy the view.
Yeah, not worry about falling into anything or anything falling onto you. Really, like.
Yeah, I remember there were like some kind of sketchy spots, and it was like kind of a bit of a rope and But at that point for me it was just like whatever. No. Like if that was at the beginning, I would have like gone slowly and surely. But that point it's just like.
No, I like how you said about the castor edge. That after the castor, it's like nothing can get to me.
That was the worst.
Just the confidence.
Yeah.
But it's very nice. What's your biggest takeaway from the mountains?
That's a good question. I mean, it's that like probably that you like always have something in reserve. You can always go a bit further.
Yeah.
Because there's so many points. I was like, this is too much. Like I can't. I'm gonna put like someone else in danger just because like I'm gonna physically collapse or like something like whatever. Like so many different reasons in my head, but like you just gotta push through it.
Yeah.
You always have a little bit extra left.
That's true. I think that's where really the quote from one of my favorite books, the boy, the horse, the fox, and the mole come in. It's when they are in the forest, lost in the middle of night, and they can't really see a way out. And the boy says to the horse, "I can't see a way out. I can't see anything." And the horse says, "Do you see your next step?" And the boy, "Yes, I do." And horse says, "Then just take that." And I think sometimes in mountains, like because even for me, it was some moments where it was like, I just want to sit down and just like stay or like sleep. Like I don't want to.
Or when you were like at a break, you just like just stay here for like an hour.
But then you just go step by step, like on that ridge line or on the first ridge line.
On the ridge line, I was literally step by step. Like every step, it was like you put this step wrong, you're dead.
And
that was like what was going through my
legs,
head. Yeah, it was like your legs are cooked, but it doesn't matter. Like, you
like,
just
you
step hard, next step hard.
Yeah.
Like I had like songs in my head just to like remind me to take steps in good rhythm, like evenly spaced apart. So you do it the same every time, so your crampons don't catch on your like your hands, and you like stumble. Like you gotta.
That's true. That's true. I'm very happy that I got to do it together with you. I know that already this year we have planned our next expedition, which is probably also going to be very spicy, interesting, beautiful, a lot of pictures, videos, and probably is going to involve more rock climbing. So, but yeah, thank you very much, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. Okay. Oh, yeah.
I think it went super smooth.
Yeah, it was pretty smooth.